the longest recorded speech in the history of the United States Senate while fighting back against the Trump administration. I do not anticipate he's going to talk that long this time. And so, and I got a chance to watch him in action. And it was inspirational. That man was tired, but he fought because that fight needed to happen. And so, St. Louis, I'm only going to do this once. So on the count of 3, we're going to give this man a St. Louis welcome. Okay? So on the count of 3, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Senator Cory Booker. Thank you, everybody. Please sit down. Please sit down. I'm coming down. Please sit down. Please sit down. They got me doing out sharpening the van out here, so I'm going to be running out in a minute. But I really wanted to be here, especially not because of the extraordinary people I got to be backstage with, from your state senator to your amazing congressperson. I'm really running around the country right now trying to talk to all of us. This is difficult times. I'm telling you, if America hasn't broken your heart, you don't love her enough. This is a heartbreaking time when millions of Americans are losing their health care. A heartbreaking time when you have Americans who are making tough choices between their prescription drugs and paying their rent. A heartbreaking time when you see Americans watching their costs go up and up and up, leaving them with more month at the end of their money than money at the end of their month. And the thing is, it does not have to be this way. We see the decisions being made by one man in office, from his reckless use of tariffs, from his willingness to give the biggest tax cuts in history to the wealthiest corporations and people, but cutting and gutting healthcare, Medicaid, cutting and gutting even food lunch programs. We know that this is being caused by one man and his enablers, but it's not who we are. Now, I want to say this, I want to double down on this. When I say it's not who we are, I'm not talking about Democrats or Republicans. This is not right or left, it is right or wrong. And we have got to begin to understand that this is one of those moments where we're not trying to beat another side of the aisle down. We're trying to lift all Americans up. And I tell people this all the time, it's tempting to double down on hate and divisiveness. I was running for this stage in Iowa when I was running for president back in 2000, and I'm a former football player, former tight end, so when I get ahead of Steve, I used to be able to stop on the dime. Now it's at middle age, it's hard to slow down. And just as I'm about to jump up on the stage, there is this big guy who looks like he is a former defensive end for Iowa State. And as I get close to him, I'm right in his nose, I barely stop, and he looks at me and goes, "Dude! I want you to punch Donald Trump in the face!" And I look at him and I go, "Dude, that's a felony, man. That's not how we win." And I jumped up on the stage and I turned to the crowd and I asked him, "Man, you mind if I tease you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "This guy just said he wants to punch Donald Trump in the face." And everybody's like, "Yay!" And I'm like, "No, this is going to be the shortest presidential run ever. I'm disagreeing with you in Iowa." That's not how we win. Martin Luther King didn't beat Bull Connor by bringing bigger dogs and bigger fire hoses. Right. The way we win is not making Donald Trump the center of the story. He is not the main character in the story of America. Yes. He is not. He wants to be, but he is not. We are the main character. King said it so clearly. What we have to repent for in our day and age is not the vitriolic words and violent actions of the bad people, but the appalling silence and inaction of the good people. Right. And that's why this room, to me, is one of the most important rooms in America to me. Because you all are here while the March Madness tournament is going on. You all are here while you got some great sports events coming on, right? You guys have chosen to be here today. From the No Kings marchers to you all have said, "You know what? In the call of my country, I am going to stand up and do something. I'm not going to fall into that trap that Alice Walker warns us about, that the most common way people give up their power is not realizing they had it in the first place.
Yes.
And let me emphasize this to you, because a lot of people don't realize how powerful we are, that if we volunteer more, if we organize more, if we step forward and say, hey, how can I help a tough campaign? How can I help in a state? I'm not going to surrender in this state, even though people call it a red state. I know the people want health care. I know the people want affordable rent. I know the people want child care. I know the people want affordable college. I know we are the people. And the challenge is, in the face of more difficult challenges, it's always going to come down to what you can control is your actions. And let me tell you a story. It's one of my favorite stories from history. It happened after a tragedy. A young man named Jimmy Lee Jackson in Alabama. His mother, you all have seen these pictures of people being thrown down by ice. This was an Alabama state trooper, threw his mother down. He ran to go try to help his mother. Alabama state trooper pulled his weapon, shot, and killed him. As a result of Jimmy Lee Jackson's death, was they were protesting for voting rights, Martin Luther King came and gave a sermon. This young man will not die in vain. Well, there was a young man there in his 20s named John Lewis who said, we're not going to let him die in vain. We're going to do a march. King wasn't there, but a bunch of young people, and young people of all ages, I should say, decided to march from this church to go to the state capitol and protest for voting rights. And so they start marching over this bridge named for a United States senator and a guy who was also Grand Wizard of the KKK, the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And now there's a guy in New Jersey, I want to make this plain. This guy in New Jersey watching TV at that same moment. Now, if you're next to somebody that's young, hold them, because I want to inform you of this dark past of ours. There was a time in America we only had 3 TV stations. And it was a time of hardship. And people were skinnier back then, because if you wanted to change those channels, you had to get up off the couch. And you got at least 10,000 steps in the day. And then the birth rate was higher because, the TV went off at 10 p.m. and you had to find something to do. They raised the flag, the national anthem, boom. Oh, so I'm sorry to take you to that dark time. But here's this guy in New Jersey, a white guy in New Jersey, watching TV, and they shift to the breaking news of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And he is so upset about what he's seeing. His first instinct is to go to Alabama from New Jersey, but then he realizes he just started his law firm. He can't afford a plane ticket. And so what he decides to do is just give up for a second. But then he does something that is the American tradition. He decides that he is not going to let his inability to do everything undermine his determination to do something. I'm just going to do the best I can with what I have, where I am. And here's his meager calculation. I'm going to give an hour more of pro bono work a week. 1 hour a week. More than he was doing. God, would make me feel good if folk in here came in and said, you know what, I'm already volunteering. I'm already active. I'm going to do 1 more hour of volunteering for the state Democratic Party. 1 more hour helping a candidate that is in a no-win race, but we're going to win it anyway. And so here's this guy. He calls around New Jersey who needs an hour of pro bono work. He finds this woman named Lee Porter, young African-American woman. We just buried her at Jersey Fair Housing Council, and when she was 94, when we put her to rest, she was still head of the New Jersey Fair Housing Council. And the two of them, in mid-60s, they get together and they say, well, what can we do? It was a novel idea back then that they would send black couples into white neighborhoods to look at homes, and if they were told the home was sold, they would send this volunteer white couple as a tester couple to see if the house was still for sale. And lo and behold, they started discovering a lot of real estate discrimination, started exposing it, getting newspaper articles. They were getting really good things done, hour a week, volunteering, helping these folks out. And then, suddenly, years passed. And he says he gets this case file from a family moving up from the South. And they're frustrated because they can't find housing. And he goes to work and he gets them together and sends the black couple out to look at a house. They fall in love with the house, but they're told it's sold. They leave, the white couple comes, find out it's still for sale. And here's what happens. The white couple puts a bid on the house for the black couple. The bid is accepted. papers are drawn up, and on the day of the closing, the white couple doesn't show up. The black guy and that lawyer show up, named Marty Friedman. They walk into the real estate agent's office, and as soon as the real estate agent recognizes the black guy and the lawyer, he realizes he's been caught. And this is the crazy part of the story. He doesn't just say, I'm sorry. He stands up and punches the lawyer in the face.
Oh my God.
Sends a Doberman picture on the black guy. They have to fight their way out of the office. And suddenly, the owners of the home, after some legal letters go back and forth, find out what's going on. They're horrified, mortified. They didn't know this was happening, so they agree to sell the house to the black family. The black family moves in. A father, mother, a 2-year-old, and a baby, about 4 months old, still in the crib. And then 44 years later, that little baby goes on to be America's 4th black person ever elected to the United States Senate meeting. I tell you the story because it's not just my story, it's your story. All of us are here because of conspiracies of love, of individuals who in a time of conflict, in a time of controversy, in their moral moment, they stood up and they knocked over a domino that got somebody engaged and got more people going. They were one spark of light that ignited other lights. We are all here because of that kind of sacrifice, that kind of struggle. Change does not come from Washington. It comes to Washington by the people who demand that change, who stand up and fight for it, who are relentless and unyielding in their love and their service. And so I want to end with this story. I'm going to throw it over here on the stage, because I want to end with this. This is another moment. I got to share one more moment with you, then I got to go to that van to talk to Al Sharpton on MSNBC. It's right parked outside. If the van's rocking, don't come knocking, please. It's just me talking to Al. I want to end with this. I know you all are in a storm. Now, you, like us, in New Jersey, you face some really awful storms. I heard your incredible congressperson who has stood up and fought to make sure you all have resources. You all know, like me, but we're in a metaphorical storm too. Our neighbors are facing storms of financial turmoil and crisis. We're seeing a storm overseas where our men and women, another 12 plus injured last night, 13 dead. We're in a storm when the president unilaterally sends $25 billion to fight a war overseas unconstitutionally, and that money could have been used to extend health care here. We're in a moral storm. So I want to give you the best thing I ever learned in a real storm. Now, I'm mayor of the city of Newark, and we have Superstorm Sandy coming in. And it is brutal. I got told everybody, get off the streets. So I'm out in a big SUV driven by 2 officers. We're surveying our streets. The wind is shaking our car like it's a leaf. I'm rolling in my window, yelling at people, please go home, please lock down. This is going to be worse than you could imagine. And as we're driving along a long straightaway, the windshield wipers can't even compete with the rain driving at the windshield. My phone rings. I answer my cell phone. And I believe what I hear on the other end of my cell phone, forgive me if it sounds impertinent, I believe on the other end of the cell phone, the question I hear is the stupidest question in America. I know that sounds impertinent. I know it sounds a little rude. But you tell me, I think this is the stupidest question in America. The question I heard, I answered the phone, and the person says, hello, this is the White House operator. Will you hold for the President of the United States? And I joke with her, I'm like, who says no to that question? And she's all about business. Will you hold for the President of the United States? And I'm like, yes, I will hold. Now, let me tell you something. This is like 2011. I miss Obama. I miss Obama. And I miss her husband, too. But I miss Obama. Shut up! So I say yes, and it's my second favorite Obama. It is the President of the United States of America just checking in on me. It was a beautiful moment. Here he is sitting in the Oval Office calling leaders perhaps up and down the coast where the storm is going to hit, saying to them, I'm going to be there for you. There will be a federal response. It was a affirming moment, great moment, and and must 6-7 minutes, but it lifted me, and I hung up the phone, and my phone rings again. This time, no stupid question. I recognize the voice. It's my governor. You never heard of him. His name's Chris Christie. You never heard of him. And yet, this is not a time for partisanship. It's time for patriotism. And so we were friends then. We disagreed on a lot of things. Friends and friends now. And he and I have the same kind of heart of a conversation. This storm is going to be bad. It's going to take lives. We knew it. And we shared heart. And we shared plans, and when I hung up with him, I felt lifted. I just talked to the president, I just talked to this governor, but now I'm on a ramp going uphill, on a hill, just going up, and I see the top of the hill, the apex of the hill, I see this light through the rain, swinging back and forth, and I'm like, what is that? Big light. And we get closer, and I see it's a man swinging this big light in the middle of the road. And I'm like, what? And then we get closer, I see, behind him, all the trees at the top of the hill, big, mighty trees had come already down in the wind and the rain, and they pulled all the wires of the telephone poles. It was a mess of fallen trees, fallen poles, and as I got closer up to him, my officers pulled me right next to him, and I rolled down my window, and I see there's an elderly man in a yellow slicker holding this big light. And forgive me, but I yell at him. I'm the mayor of the city. I told everybody to be locked down. And so I raised my voice over the wind and the rain. I go, what are you doing out here? And this man looks at me like I just asked him the stupidest question in America. He goes, Mayor, it is so dangerous out here. I'm standing out here to make sure no one comes along and gets hurt. I had just talked to the President of the United States of America and to the governor of my state. I'm the mayor of the largest city in my state, but I will tell you this. In the worst storm to hit our state in over a century, I will never forget that the greatness I best saw exhibited was not some person in some high office. The greatness I saw best exhibited was by an American who, in dark of night, in a savage storm, did not let his inability to do everything undermine his determination to stand on that hill, hold up his light in the night so that his fellow American would not get hurt. That's who we are. That's how we got here. I am telling you, St. Louis, will you stand up for America? Will you stand up for great candidates? Will you stand up for health care and reproductive rights? Will you stand up for the change we need in our nation? The road might be hard, the storm might be bad, but we made a way out of no way in this country, and we're not going to stop now. Thank you, everybody. Let's fight the good fight.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you for reminding us of better times in the past and better times to come. And we want to present you with this book. You're presenting a lot of people with other books. Everyone here today signed this book to you.
That is amazing. I will treasure this. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stand up, everybody. Stand up.
Thank you. I'm Russ Carnahan. I had the honor of representing this district in Congress for 8 years. I'm honored to serve as the state party chair. Thank you for being here. Senator Booker, again, is a great inspiration for what's going on here. This week in Missouri, actually this week nationally, we saw another Republican congressman resign. We've had a record number of Republicans leaving office. We have a record number of Democrats running for office in Missouri. But there's still a lot more for us to do. So I see a lot of familiar faces here, a lot of new faces here. We have a major midterm election. None of us can sit on the sidelines. We're going to change the state for the better, and we're going to do it in our communities, and all of us can do something. You've seen the QR codes around here. You can also go to the MissouriDemocrats.org. Sign up to get the Missouri Democratic Party newsletter. Got great information to keep you up to date on what's going on. You can sign up to be a volunteer. Connect with your local candidates. You can always make a donation. But we together, when people show up here, we win. Just to give you another statistic, Donald Trump won Missouri in the last presidential election, and guess what? There were more Missourians who did not vote than voted for Donald Trump.
What?
So we know if we show up, we win. And we're going to change the state for the better. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being here. We want to keep all of you informed about future events. We'll have a lot of special national speakers coming through here in the next few months. We're going to have a lot to do. We have, spring elections. The municipal elections are next Tuesday. It's also the end of March is the deadline for candidate filing. I think I misspoke. It's early April when the municipal elections are. August is our primary election, and of course November is the Super Bowl. So anyway, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, thank you all for coming, and we will keep in touch with all of you. Please continue to support what we're doing. Thanks so much.